brothers and sisters, soldiers and soldierettes, thank you. And this is another edition of EBX Discussion. And I always appreciate those that ride along on this journey. You know, we enjoy the journey that great divine set for so many of us. So thank you. And I always got to give those honors to our ancestors, the righteous ones, whose spirit is alive and well, and many great brothers and sisters out here within our families and outside our families. And may all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And if you alive and breathing, we are back to conquer another day. And excuse me, sometimes we just got to be thankful, you know, just be thankful and try our best to keep good energy within, because positivity equals better health and good health. And it's positive energy helps with the immune system. I've kind of touched on this before. I have a podcast called 7 Symptoms of Stress, which I will put in one's end screen. And it's very important, you know. I always say, you know, being righteous is not a fad. It's not just doing something because someone else is doing it or a feel-good thing. It's a way of life. And the less negativity you have in your life, the less wear and tear you have on your immune system. Because when you let stuff trigger you, the more times we let negative energy affect us, that's more wear and tear on our immune system. And I'll go through some experiences and how I came up with this and how I came to this point. Because I said on a podcast, if you watch it, 7 Symptoms of Stress. I used to have migraines years ago. And a big part of it was stress. And along with a lot of other things that cause headaches, you know, like what we eat, rest, something we're doing strenuous, whatever kind of job where we have, you know, a lot of things can cause headaches, but stress definitely can be a number one factor. Because something I like to say, and I always say, stress is the root of all sickness. So if you want to get to the root of a lot of challenges, start with stress. You know, look it up, study it, break it down, so you can begin to see which areas in your life might be stress. Like I say, I always like to say, watch our stress levels, you know, have low stress levels or no stress at all. And of course, I'm a human being. I feel things, I get emotions, but over time when we practice them, and like I said a few minutes ago, I used to have migraines. So when we come into that knowledge and we understand ourselves, we begin to come up with ways to lessen our stress. And being positive is the most wonderful way we can do it. It's not easy, but it's the best way, and it gets the best results. Keeps you living longer, and it keeps you looking young, you know, depending on who we are. If we don't, because I know we have illnesses and sicknesses and things along the way. But I'm going to get into that. You know, I always like to look up things, you know. A meditative moment that great divine give all of us. You know, we get those special thoughts or feelings in our spirit. Don't be afraid to speak on it. You know, we have to, if we don't speak out to the divine when we by ourselves, at least share it to someone else. That's the one beautiful, positive thing that one draws from social media, being able to express and share positive energy. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. We're able to do that. Self-therapy. It's the best thing one can do for oneself. You know, you have to have that willpower, that determination. Being able to deal with some humility. Have to have some sense of humbleness. Not that you're soft, but remember, we're having integrity here. We're being mature here. It's about having a healthy immune system, not, you know, letting our ego get to us. And we have to really think about our body and high blood pressure, especially in melanated brothers and sisters. And that's in that podcast I got, 7 Symptoms of Stress. High blood pressure is on there. Our breathing, it can mess with our breathing. Stress can mess with that. I won't say too much. You have to go on the podcast, check it out. And you can also look it up yourself. Stress is a killer. So it's worse than any addiction, any cigarettes, because stress is the root of it all. So I want to go through one stage. I like looking things up so I can know for myself, because, man, knowledge is, man, I know it sounds cliche. They say knowledge is power. Woo. Man, you can prevent a lot of things, deflect a lot of things, and overcome a lot of things when you have that power of knowledge, righteous knowledge, something that can help all of us in the present and make for, man, a great future. So here's the first stage. The positive part. Positive thinking improves the body ability to fight off disease. Remember, I always say the body follows the mind. So if you got strong willpower, you determine in your mind, your body will be healthy. Your body will follow. So let's go to the second stage. This is the downside of giving in to stress. The body's response to stress can suppress parts of the immune system, and over the long term or over a period of time lead to damaging levels of inflammation. And I actually looked that up. Inflammation, that means inflaming, swelling, that can be anywhere in the body. In the brain, stress is a mother hubba. It's nothing to play with. I want to read that stage again. It's important, I think. The body's response to stress can suppress parts of the immune system, and over long term lead to damaging levels of inflammation, swelling. So every time we get angry, every time we get triggered, every time, even if it's just a little bit of negativity, it's still that's that much more wear and tear on our immune system. Now, we're human beings. Of course, we're going to have emotions. Sometimes we're going to get a little angry about things. It's not about getting emotion or getting angry. It's about regulating that anger, regulating that emotion, seeing where it's coming from. If you sometimes can't, I will say, because we in this human body. I always say I hate this human body, but every now and then we might succumb to the human body, But if we're righteous, it won't be nothing really bad. I'm talking about an emotion or something, not nothing bad or toxic. I mean, just like an impulse or an emotion, because we have things all around us that can set us off. But we have to look at it as a teaching tool, just make us that much more stronger. Because when we give in to a person, place, or a thing that we might think might feel some kind of way or whatever about it, we give that person, place, or thing power. That's just an example. So that's why we have to not be afraid to speak our truth, as long as we're genuine and we're real within. We're human beings, but if we are real within, we can't be afraid to speak our truth. Again, that's one of the beautiful things about I draw from social media and will always draw from social media. Being able to express one's, divine spirit and things that come into us. And, it's good to it's better out than in. We can't keep stuff bottled up, because when we've been on this walk for a while, and those of us that have been through the shaping times and the building and the maturing, we know, so can't bottle stuff up. And this is a great way, remember, never ever forget, brothers and sisters, family, children, who's ever listening, we always do it for that higher force, for that great divine, because remember, even when it seems like no one else is listening, that higher force is always listening. Always remember the law of attraction. And sometimes I think some of us get away from that. We have to be led by the steps of that great, great divine. And if we sing like we feel like we getting lost along the way, what do I always say? Do a little introspection. Think of the times when those that you thought you couldn't make it through, you made it through then. So why wouldn't we make it through now? So just got to keep that mindset and learn from everything that we can. Even if it's negative, we learn from that too. And why do we learn from the negative? Because we learn what not to do, but we don't take it in. We don't be affected by it. We learn from it. We observe it, And over time, we get like this, but we have to continue. We have to be consistent on learning about ourselves, looking stuff up, And when we do get to this point, that's what, man, the results, that's what make it all worth it. That's what being righteous and looking up knowledge and breathing life on this walk is all about. Man, it's all about. It's keeping oneself straight and passing that good energy on to those we love. It's the best way we can. I always say there's worse things one could be doing, than speaking and having podcasts. There's worse things one could be doing. Cause just think of those that don't care about life and don't care about breathing life, don't even care about themselves. Think about those that are living like that. And some on the industry and just not the industry, I'm sorry. Some that are on social media just doing any and everything. Think about that. So again, like I say, there's worse things one could be doing. I'm not the most perfect brother in the world, but I will always express that divine love and that divine spirit, because that's what the divine has put in me. We all have to find what the divine put in us and make it for the betterment of the world. Because no matter what happened in this life, I will never forget those I have learned from. I will never forget the things that my family has done. I'm thankful that my children were born. I'm thankful for the children that I have met, along the way and have done things for. And it's just wonderful. See, this is all what I'm saying, what I'm doing. This is good energy. This is building one's immune system. This is how we keep our immune system strong, it's other things, we have to do with the body, but it's definitely good to have a very strong, positive mindset. It definitely helps. So, brothers and sisters, try our best to regulate our stress. I love how that rhymes. I like to do rhymes. I be rhyming without even trying. It's just in my spirit, I told you, I love hip hop. But that's another one of those passions. That's another one of those passions. And that's a part of positive energy. Doing something that we love, and not worried about, what person, place, or thing might think. Just speak our truth and be as honest as we possibly can and be the best of ourselves. And that great divine will do the rest. Remember, I want to read that first stage again. Positive thinking improves the body ability to fight disease. And because when you're determined, when you have that power of determination, and those that have this, they know nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you. And when you have integrity, the power of integrity is a wonderful thing. And like I say, when you have the power of integrity, brothers and sisters, this ties into positive energy. It just, some things, you will be above petty shit. Just put it like that. And you'll just love brothers and sisters and just learn from one another. And understand that we never know what another individual is going through in their lives. And that makes for an easy, simple walk, and just speak our truth and continue teaching and continue being the best of ourselves and passing that energy on to our significant other, our children, our families, and to help them have a good mindset and regulate their stress and be the best of themselves. And that's what it's all about. And like I said before, that's what I always had in my soul when I started this channel, is to touch the hearts, the minds, and the souls of the young and the old. Because I've had those that encouraged me, and lifted me up and kept me up when I fell down. So I'm passing that torch on. They passed that torch on to me. Now I'm passing the torch on to whoever listening, young or old, and give advice, suggestions, thought-provoking things to help manifest in whoever's life that's listening, brother, sister, young or old. And, just stay tuned in on pay attention to things and try our best not to let things stress us, because stress is a killer. Stress is serious. Sometimes I don't think some people know how serious stress can be. And I want to read that second part of when we let stress come into our system. The body response to stress can suppress parts of the immune system, and over time lead to damaging levels of inflammation. And that's why I say, especially if you're in stress constantly, and you're not paying attention, you're literally killing yourself. It's just doing it slower. So again, positivity equals better health. I mean, stress is the root of all sickness. I like saying that. That's like for myself. I always gotta remind myself, and it helps me to deal with everyday life and dealing with different individuals, person, place, or thing, especially my oneself. Working the job, and it just keeps you ready for things. And like I said, we in this human body, certain things are gonna happen. But what do we learn when we finally know what stress really is? We learn how to regulate things, emotions, instincts, and don't be taken back by things, and always be willing to learn, never feel dumb. None of us know everything. When we get to this space, we are truly free. And we just doing us. We are truly free. When you just doing you, brothers and sisters, and not afraid of your truth, and seeking more truth, and you want to pass it to others, and you just want this world to be a better place, you are truly free, because there's no bondage. There's nothing holding you back. And we can be positive at will. It's free. Remember what I said, negativity can cost you, but positivity is free all day, every day. So keep being positive. Never stop. Remember what it took to get you to where you are. Never forget that. So, like I say, a little introspection never hurts. So, always focus on your stress levels. I always try to keep them, like I said, low stress levels or no stress at all. When I had those migraines, that's what made me focus on stress and different things. That's why I don't be on social media a lot, because social media also plays a part in, I think, maybe our immune system and stress levels also, because social media is almost like a microwave. Everything's going so fast, and you're going and going and going and going. That kind of builds up the blood pressure a little bit. So you just have to regulate yourself on social media, and do what we love on it, enjoy what we do on it, but don't let it consume us. So, and I've gotten past the social media tension and all that stuff, and all I ever wanted to do in this life is, which I've always had in my heart, is just to encourage those to pay attention to themselves and their family members and surroundings, and be stress-free. Be as stress-free as possible, as much as we possibly can, so we can keep our immune system strong. There's a lot of things in this life, which I'll probably have to research and look up. A lot of things we can do to keep our immune system strong. But how will we know to keep our immune system strong? By paying attention to our inside, paying attention to little things we encounter, things that person, place, or thing might do, unless it's life-threatening or something to threaten your life. That's different. But if it's nothing that's really a threat to you, don't let it seep into your system, because it's all about maintaining our spirit, our health, our mental health, and of course our immune system, because that great divine needs us as healthy and strong as we can possibly be, so we can carry out that mission for that higher force. So that's why I look up stress, and that's why I try to do things to better myself, so I can be able to be here for those that I'm connected to, family, children, my children, my younger son's mom, and just whoever that's in my life that I'm connected to. So that's why it's important to keep our body strong and our mind strong. Remember, I'll say this from time to time, the body always follows the mind. So pay attention to them stress levels, please. If you learn nothing else from me, pay attention, take stress serious. It's no joke, nothing to play with, because stress can kill you over time if we're not paying attention to it. And a lot of times, to keep our stress level low, and it's unfortunate, they say, now I'm just using this as an example, they say we are, those that are enlightened and righteous and have awakened, we have gone to that that ascended level, but unfortunately, some won't be able to make it there. So in order to keep our stress level down or no stress at all, some individuals might have to cut off, and you don't have to, and it's not about being paranoid or looking for somebody to do wrong. There's nothing like that. When we're led by that great divine, any toxic thing, but we have to really be truly connected. And of course, this happens over the time, studying, practicing, taking oneself serious and those we are connected to serious. It happens over time. It don't happen overnight. I don't ever want to make it seem like becoming spiritual is easy, because it's not. And there's always work to be done. But when we're finally at that space, brothers and sisters, when we are finally there, we won't have to worry about things, person, place, or thing that is toxic, because it will reveal itself and the great divine will take care of it. We just got to keep in mind, remember, we're always led by that great divine, not by our human body, what our body wants. The hell with what our body wants. Be led by that great divine. And excuse me for my French, but never listen to the body, the wants of the body. Never. So, like I said, positive energy or positivity equals better health. And if you don't think so, look up stress and look at all the symptoms, or listen to my podcast that I'll have at the end screen, like I said, and you see all the symptoms. It's very serious. So that's my thought. I just wanted to put that was in my spirit. And good morning to whoever's listening, or good afternoon or good evening, whatever time zone you're in. A lot of us that are spiritually awakened, we get those great thoughts in the morning, don't we? Between 3 and 7, we fired up, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful, and I thank that great divine for being in my spirit and giving me the love and the teachings that those gave me in the past. Salute. And I'll keep putting out that good energy, because I want all of our immune system as strong as it can possibly be, because I know all of us have some loved ones in our lives. That's why we need to be healthy and strong, mind, body, and soul, and spirit. So that's my thought. And I thank those, as always, and appreciate you, those that come in. Soldiers and soldierettes, salute to another edition of EBX Discussion, and salute to the reachers and teachers all over the world, the real ones that are doing their thing and putting in that work. Salute. I honor your family. I honor my family. Salute. I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. Keep your stress level low or no stress at all. And please have the ultimate peace in your part of the world, wherever you are right now. Salute.